Well, as you all know from the title, we're really going to be diving deep into the dark depths of Pokemon theories and ideas and concepts and videos, and we ran out of ideas. So I'm really pulling a left fielder here as we discuss what kind of gear is Klink really? Really, the only thing you probably want to know about these Pokemon is that. So, this is everything you wanted to know about KLINKLANG. But I mean, what kind of gear are they is a question that kept me up at night, and I couldn't even in good conscience leave that question unanswered, just in case anyone else had the same dilemma. So here you go, and you're welcome in advance.
Why are freaking gears a Pokemon?
So, what do we know about these little gears with their little faces and their little noses? They're not that cute. And yes, I know that the nose is part of the face. I'm just saying, they got little noses and little faces. Basic facial recognition 101. Hey, some people are gonna think I mispronounced recognition, but I didn't, because it's a pun. Recognition. So first, let's go ahead and look at KLINKLANG's name, because its etymology is fun. Its name comes from klink, the sound of metal clashing, and klang, the sound of metal clashing. Isn't that wonderful? In Japanese, the first form's name is Gyaru, then Gigiaru, then Gigigigiaru. In German, it's Klick, then Klack, then Klick-dick-klack. All this really did is prove that there's no such thing as a good name for these things. So, appearance-wise, these Pokemon have 6 gears with an inner circle that seems to be their face body, with the nose being the centerpiece, along with a single eye and an X mark, where the other eye should be. They've also got a small mouth across the nose from the eyes.
So who would have guessed it? It's a face.
But appearance isn't everything. If we based everything on appearance alone, I'd just say they are a generic spur gear that has very large teeth. Okay, so real quick gear lesson. This is my favorite part. Gears come in many shapes and sizes, and I mentioned spur gears already, so we can cover that first. Real quick, in your head, imagine a gear. You got one? It's really generic, right? That's what a spur gear is. It's quite common, just being a straight cut gear. You can make them out of pretty much anything. Other gears have curves or angles in their cut that make them have different properties. Now then, every gear has a job, so they all need different tools to complete the job they were given. Gears with a lot of little small teeth on average seem to run smoother and have less friction. This is because the more teeth you have, the quicker the next tooth can engage into the other gear. Simply because your teeth have typically a taper where they mesh, so any tooth that isn't fully engaged really isn't giving full driving force. Basically, the more teeth, the more tapers, so less full-on force. This means that large teeth generally have more strength, and along with being stronger, they are less likely to be stripped or broken off. But they are shakier and have more friction. Now, looking to the Klink line, we know that they are incredibly strong as they have massive teeth. But they are so massive that they must be pretty rough at what they do. Not a smooth spin at all. Very Guh. 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 Guah. Scientific descriptions. Interestingly, we know from the Pokedex entries that the two gears need each other to live, as they spin around each other to generate energy for themselves to live. Kinda makes them throwing each other as an attack seem really risky. It's like if you threw your lungs as an attack. Well, no, that's a good descriptor. It's like if you threw your lungs or your heart. While doing that wouldn't do any damage, I think you'd scare away your opponent at that point. The Pokedex also states that they are predetermined to mesh with each other, and each will rebound from other mini-gears without meshing, essentially meaning that they will only mesh with each other, nothing else. They're perfect soulmates. It's really cute. Unlike the Pokemon. However, this isn't completely true. Or at least someone in the animation department didn't think I'd notice. Ha! How silly of them. You see, in the weird split Victini movies, we see that the mayor has an entire line of Klinks and Klinklangs and Klangs and Klunks, Klauses, all working for him, powering various things, such as music boxes, and even running a helicopter later in the movie. Hot dang! How powerful are these gears? You need some serious RPM to spin helicopter blades. But wait though, the Pokedex said that they couldn't interface. Well, I guess that may mean that they just can't mesh with any other sentient gear to form a Klink, which just seems inefficient of them. But having their large teeth would mean that they aren't exactly capable of being the main driving force of a helicopter anyway, no matter what sort of other gears you have in there. But perhaps its evolution can help with that. KLINK is essentially a bigger Klink. The biggest difference is that the larger gear would turn at a much faster rate than the smaller gears because, well, that's how gears work. It's called a ratio. KLINK's gears have 6 teeth on the small gears and 8 teeth on the larger ones, so the ratio would be 8:6. Ultimately, this means that the gear spins faster by 33%, all for just adding 2 gears. Now, if I spin it the other way, making the small gear be the drive gear, it would be 1/3 slower, but 1/3 times stronger in torque. Aren't gears great? I mean, that's how your car can either go faster or slower, all because of your transmission or gearbox, which is made of gears. Neat, but we really start to lose its interesting facts as it evolves into KLINKLANG. The only real difference now is that it gets an edgy Hot Topic spike collar and an energy tank in which it stores energy by spinning its gears around its magnetic collar to induce a charge and then storing that charge in its large red crystal conduit that somehow can store vast amounts of energy. I know this tank or core just looks like another gear, but that's what the Pokedex says it is. After all, KLINKLANG can learn a ton of electric-type moves. In the end, though, we still never answered your all-important question of what kind of gears are they, did we? Well, all in all, I would say most likely KLINKLANG and KLINKLANG are all large machinery gears. That's definitely the biggest possibility. Those used in heavy lifting, or perhaps they are very large tractor gears, giving them better torque with strong, sturdy gears. These kinds of gears were most common during the Industrial Revolution, which happens to be when the Pokedex states these Pokemon started appearing. The reason these gears were so common back then is because, well, they're kind of unrefined. They're very early gears. They don't really function all that properly. That's right, I said it. Shock to the world, the KLINK line are poorly made.
Oh, who would have possibly been able to guess that?
One thing is for sure though, that helicopter should not have been able to fly. Something tells me the Pokemon world isn't exactly realistic. And it entirely stems from this one Pokemon. It's all its fault. This is the Pokemon that ruined everything. So, that's everything you probably wanted to know about KLINKLANG. Or everything you should know about KLINKLANG, or whatever the title of this video is going to be. Something clickbaity. Ha! Thanks for clicking and watching. You're awesome, and until next time, please remember to never stop using your noggin.